Alright, here are some Dragon Ball Fighters. I mean, I just, I just missed this game, alright, and I just felt like I had to upload it, because my frustrations with this game actually have nothing to do with the game. It has everything to do with Bandai, and it's always been that way. Always been that way. Um, and I feel like there were times when I complained about this game, and, nowadays, I don't, I now realize what we lost, I now realize what we lost. Yeah, I just wish I could be back in these days playing this game, this is the first fighting game I ever played. Technically, there are other fighting games I played, but this is the first one I took seriously, this is where I became, I stopped being a casual player button masher, and I became someone who, actually stopped mashing buttons and actually, learned how to play the game. And honestly, this was like the best fighting game ever made when it came to learning how to play a fighting game. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, take it from someone who actually did it on this game. I mean, wow, like, this game really told me how to go from being a button masher to someone who actually plays games seriously. And I think it's because this game has a lot of mashy stuff. Like, you can mash a lot of stuff in this game. Like, for example, obviously the auto combos are broken. Like, that's obvious, But it's just the way the combo system works that really allowed me, even as I was a 14-year-old kid when this game came out. And no, I was 13 when this game came out. I was almost 14. I was 13 when this game came out, and I was able to learn the game. Within like 6 months, I was like pretty decent at the game, and then like obviously here we are, 5.5 years later, and yeah, I mean, this game was the one that started me playing fighting games, because I just realized that, these are the games for me, they're just so hard, whether it comes to the combos, whether it comes to, the movement, there's just so much to do that, yeah, it really did a lot for me. And you know what? Even, I bought the Ultimate Edition of this game when it came out, and even though this game sucks, like as a video game, the package you are getting in this game is horrible. This game has an absolutely atrocious story mode, and that's it. It only has story mode, arcade mode, and then occasional, like, boss battles, and then that's it. You're playing online all the time. It has no content. With that being said, that didn't even bother 13-year-old me at all. Like, I love this game, dude. I love this game. And I still remember the morning it came out, I was playing it. And I still remember it to this day. I remember exactly what everything looked like outside. I remember what the morning looked like. I remember the first character I played. I don't know my team, but I remember one of the first characters I played was Tien. I remember having Tien because I got a color for him in the color shop. Like, it was just so magical. This game was so magical, And I didn't really understand, because year one of this game was, like, amazing in terms of, if you don't know, for Dragon Ball Fighterz, year one of Dragon Ball Fighterz, they would drop 2 characters at a time. Every time a character came out, another character would come out to accompany them. So, for example, the first DLC characters in this game were Bardock and Broly. They came out on the same exact day. The same exact day. Vegito and Zamasu, Base Goku and Vegeta, they all came out on the same day. Like, and at the time, this wasn't crazy to me. Why? Because I came from Xenoverse 2, and Xenoverse 2 would drop 3 characters at a time, you know? And, obviously, Xenoverse 2 is a lot easier to make a character in Xenoverse 2 than for Fighterz, but I didn't know that, you know? I didn't know that most fighting games do 1 character. Meanwhile, Fighterz was doing 2 characters at once, and we were getting, like the first year, there were, like, 8 DLC characters. So you were just getting blasted with content, and then here we are 5.5 years later, and there has not been a single fighting game that has ever come close to just releasing that much content, you know? And, here comes year 2, you know, year 2 comes, and they're not doing 2 characters at once anymore. They're only doing 1 character at a time, and I was like, this sucks, you know. At the time, I was like, yo, this is actually dumb. They're just trying to, like, scam you, right? But I didn't realize that that was just norm. And the reason they did 2 characters at once is probably because they've been planning for years to be able to do 2 characters at once, right? And then Season 2 comes out. You didn't have years to plan Season 2, you know? So, yeah, like... That kind of like bothered me with the game, but don't get me wrong, I bought Season 2 and I still played Season 2, but it just made me like kind of angry with the game, because kind of just like, why are we going from all this content to this, you know? Meanwhile, here we are with Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is about to be out for 6 months and only got 2 characters. You know, and that's considered the best fighting game out right now. And, you know, Mortal Kombat is about to be 2 months old and is about to get its first character, and the game is just in an abysmal state, I would say, really. I just, you know, I wish that this game got treated better by Bandai, because, I mean, let's be honest, Bandai is very ignorant when it comes to fighting games. If you don't know, Bandai makes 3 fighting games. 4, technically. They make Smash, they make Soul Calibur, they make Tekken, and they made Dragonballfighterz. Now, Tekken sells millions of copies, Smash sells millions of copies, Fighterz sold millions of copies, and Soul Calibur sold like 1 million copies. Soul Calibur sold like 1 million copies, and it got cancelled forever. They stopped making Soul Calibur games because it underperformed. Meanwhile, you know, Dragon Ball sells millions when it shouldn't have. It's so rare for a fighting game to sell millions, but Bandai is so used to selling millions because they have some of the only few franchises that sell millions, and they didn't realize, you know, they just don't realize the rare gem this game was, and they didn't treat this game like a game that sold millions. This game was a once-in-a-lifetime type of game, and they never treated it like that. They never treated it like that, and that was the problem. And that is what ultimately killed it. I stopped playing the game pretty much when Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 came out, although I still play it every now and then. Because the game only lasted 2 years, and then COVID happened. And, I mean, the competitive scene for this game was just struggling when COVID happened, because it's like, this game has horrible netcode, and then for some reason they announced rollback netcode after COVID is over, but for some reason it's taken over a year for it to come out, and it still hasn't come out. It's like, get serious about this game. This game was something special, and Bandai never treated this game like it was something special. They never did. They just treated it like another Dragon Ball game. Or, you know, just, they didn't realize how lucky they got. And meanwhile, they got so lucky, and there's still not a sequel. There's not any type of new game. I guarantee you, if any fighting game company made a game that was like this, that was this successful, that wasn't Bandai, there would have been a sequel already. Or at least one would have been announced. I guarantee you. But, no. And honestly, no, I don't expect Budokai 4 to ever come close to what this game did for people. I really don't. Budokai 4 might be a good game, but it won't be a special game, probably. Budokai 4 will probably be another Demon Slayer, you know, fighter, 3D arena fighter, that's just forgotten about in a few months. You know, it's gonna have the, you know, the cookie cutter 3D fighter mechanics. It's gonna look the same as the rest of them. I don't want it to be that way, but let's be honest, we're in 2023, and yeah, they can't make arena fighters anymore nowadays. They just don't know how to do it right. Which is why this game was so special, because it was an actual serious competitive game, and they did it perfectly for the most part, and Bandai kind of abandoned it. You know, realistically, this game should still be getting DLC. I don't care what you say. Most fighting games get 5 years of DLC, I would say. And this game did not get that. So, yeah, I just had to revisit this game, man. I miss this game so much, and, you know, I just had so much fun with it, and I just wish it were still alive, because I'd still be playing it. I mean, it's not a dead game, it's just that Bandai kind of abandoned it. Anyways, you know, like, sub, and, yeah. Tell me if Fighterz was special to you, or if I'm just, you know, saying that because it was my first fighting game. You know, is it actually a special game, or is it just special to me? Peace.